I've got a petition to make whiny congressmen play violent video games. The library's on fire and out of commission. Hundreds of people are dead. I'm addicted to a drug that, if the manual is to be believed, is native to this shithole town. And worst of all, my fish radar doesn't have a firearm detector. We can't solve all of these problems. In fact, one's only going to get worse. But my best finder will see firearms, damn it. It's still Tuesday, I'm still to Snakera. Let's get this shit started. Now, re-listening to old parts, I noticed I've been a bit down on the game, particularly in regards to the humour and, well, to the graphics. And I'm just going to say now, I really do like Postal 2. I just feel I need to reaffirm that. I like the gameplay, I like the town of paradise, and I like the kind of... There's a charm about it. It's such a simple thing. You're just going around town doing very, very mundane tasks for a week while shit around you goes wrong. There's no game like it, basically. And one thing I do really like about Postal 2 is the town of paradise itself. It's rather small and compact, but there are a lot of little hidden nooks and crannies. There are whole areas that have no... well, they have no real gameplay significance. They're just there. And this is a bit of hidden body armor you can find. 200 body armor given. They're not typical, particularly this early on in the game, but you go where you find something. The game rewards you for exploration. There's little health items, there's weapons, there's items in near enough every nook and cranny you can think of. I just kind of like that. It's not overbearing, it's not necessary to explore, but it's there, you know? Also, you can club grenades. It's kind of awkward to do, though. The kick is much easier to do it with, and it's much easier to aim with. It really sends ragdolls flying. If you knock a head straight off, a little meter comes up telling you how far the head flew. Flies away too fast for me to actually get a good eye on the goddamn thing, though, so I'm probably going to waste some catnip to show that one off properly later on. And speaking of exploration, yeah, the wires in this town have a really great tensile strength. They don't even bend. Even with the full weight of a grown man with a whole arsenal on his back jump on it. And up over here is a plugin for our radar. Now, I've never actually used these before. I've gone out of my way in this playthrough to get them, though. So, plug them in, and this will tell you if an NPC has guns on them. Which is kind of superfluous on this difficulty, to be frank. Everyone has a bloody gun on them. This police officer has a napalm launcher, for Christ's sakes. But, you know, we have it. Now, you know, my thoughts that everyone has a gun has just been reaffirmed slightly. Which I guess I needed. Now I've gone out to actually cut out loading screens. I'm going to say the original release of Postal 2, which I had, loading screens were a big issue. That was actually fixed in the Share the Pain expansion to an extent. The load times were significantly reduced. The little chunks of town, they're not really that big. This is another example of an area that you never need to go to in story. A little favela area. It's very vertical, it's quite a lot of fun to jump around, and there are, as anywhere else in this game, there are health items and goodies just waiting to be found. These areas are still treated like houses though. An NPC spots you in their little ramshackle hut and they will try to murder the fuck out of you. Also, I'm going to comment on something I said last part, just while we're wandering around here, because I'm looking for a health pipe that I know is in this area, but I've forgotten the exact location of. Random massacres of civilians. Now, I said I find them dull in most games. In Postal 2, yeah, that's not an exception, really, but on Insano mode, it is actually pretty enjoyable. Going on a murderous rampage on this difficulty is fucking difficult. Because, well, you pull out a gun, you shoot someone, then someone behind you whips out a rocket launcher, and you're pretty much dead in 2 seconds flat. If you kill him, 2 more NPCs are going to pop up. And they might have rocket launchers too. They might just have scissors. Really, it's a bit random, but from my experience with this recording run, they seem to favour giving rocket launchers to regular people. Now, we're heading towards what the manual calls a heaven for donuts. The 7th heaven. Also, the item I just picked up there is fast food. That is the strongest healing item in the game that is not a health pipe. 10 HP per use, and no addictive qualities. Well, none that are apparent in the game. Don't worry, there's nothing up there anyway, I know that much from memory. I'm not sure why I tried to go up there, though. So, have you ever wondered what the sound of picking up 36 donuts in 2 seconds sounded like? Well, you're not going to wonder for too much longer.
That stuff wasn't good for me.
Who'd have thunk? Donuts are pretty weak, though. I think 2 HP per use. But with 36 donuts, we could just shove them down our gullet while people are shooting the shit out of us and pretty much negate all of our bullet wounds, which is handy. Also, that is a level transition block. You see them before the areas become available.
Would you like to sign my petition? No way.
Ah, Postal dude, you've learned nothing.
Kidding.
Now, the area I want to show off is actually right behind us, but let's go back to this motel that I mocked the joke of quite wrongly earlier on. Now, all of the rooms near enough have something in them, but because I wasn't being a murderous git in the first part, I didn't want to have to run into every room and get shot a bunch just to pick up some items that I wouldn't really need, but now I believe in the principles of self-defense, and let's go get some extra items, and Jesus, that looks painful, dude. You should not hold a machete like that. Silly of you. Also, you'll notice that every item that is doesn't seem to have the natural lighting affixed to it can be moved. You notice that with the doors, you notice that with pick-upables, you notice that with little physics objects. Actually, in the, never mind. You're meant to only see those in Apocalypse Weekend, those spinning cats. Gimps with sledgehammers, however, are quite new to the mod. Extra catnip! Now we have catnip, we have to make a return journey somewhere. Obvious where I'm going, really. More fish finder batteries. 2 people whose day just got a lot worse, especially now they've got anthrax in the room with them. I'm not even going to ask what they were up to in there with a cow head. Diseased one at that. Grenades! Perfect. I prefer the catnip, frankly. It's kind of a weird game where catnip is far more useful and luxurious an item than a hand grenade, but that's kind of what Postal 2's charm relies on. Just got to wait for the room to air out a little. It's pretty good the window broke. That probably speed up the process a bit. Oh dear, the NPCs have gotten a little bit volatile. Now, for some reason, the holding up a cow head isn't... Well, there are certain weapons that are flagged that will get you looked into by the cops, you know, like handguns and such, but unless he was to directly hit a cop with that cow head, he's not going to draw any attention for running around throwing disease everywhere. Now, this is the parade ground area. I wanted to come here to, you know, figured everyone would be in a festive mood. It would be easier to get my petition signed, but
Hi there.
I fucked things up pretty quickly.
Yes.
That'll be $10.
$10 for 10 health? Seems like a good deal.
Sounds reasonable.
But then I got greedy and figured, well, if I walk away, he won't turn and see me, and I could just pick up the goods, but he's packing heat. A whole lot of heat. A whole grenade rocket launcher worth. Sorry, I'm befuddled. He just set off the elephants. I wanted to show off the elephant NPCs, but now you're only going to see them when they're enraged. These elephants haven't got particularly great AI. If you just stand up here when they get mad at you and they charge you, you can bonk them on the head with a tonfa, probably the weakest weapon in the game, and they'll die, because they have no possible way to fight back. And these are the cow NPCs which were added in Apocalypse Weekend, because there was a mission where you needed to smash their heads in with a sledgehammer such as that. I actually was aiming for a different part of the body entirely, so let's go somewhere else to show that one off. And he seems to have lost interest in me. He took out his murderous rocket launcher-fueled rage on someone else. And fueled is quite the word for the rocket launcher, as we'll get into in the extras video. Let's just leave that madness behind us for the moment. So, the asylum area, I think I mentioned it briefly earlier on. I believe it was added in the Share the Pain expansion, but I went back to double check that and I cannot find any evidence supporting or negating that. So, I would say don't believe me in this case. So let's show what happens.
Oh man, how am I going to get that back?
Classy. We're going to have to come back for that later on, but that cow's going nowhere. For the moment, let's just go and have a look in the asylum. I posted a little video clip, The Whirlwind, on a Postal 2 thread on Face Punch about this game, where actually Mike Jared and another Postal 2 dev are talking, and they seem like quite lovely blokes. very friendly, answering to community suggestions and getting bug reports anywhere they can. So they definitely have quite an interest in Postal 2 still. I quite respect that. But after I posted that Whirlwind video, someone told me to come here and look into that chair.
There it is.
And boy, am I glad I did. Typically they draw syringes and throw at you, but he seems a bit chill. He probably didn't like his co-workers that much. Oh no, never mind, he did. He's just not showing it too well. He probably figured it would be impolite to attack me too quick. The chair! It spins even faster! And I'm fucked out of my brain at the moment. Now you're probably thinking, Snake, why aren't you pissing? Well, okay, you're not thinking that. That would be mad. Actually, you might have been. It's Postal 2, you know. That wouldn't be mad. That wouldn't be out of the question. But if you kick it just on the outside rim, you spin pretty fast, and let's see what happens.
That's the tip.
I'm being orbited by a piss stream. That is my ring of piss. I am the Saturn of bodily fluids. And that's the crassest joke I've probably ever made in a video. Who the fuck cares? Look at this. Look, I was actually dizzy in real life. Now let's make this even more intense. What item could we possibly use to show off? Imagine we could move this around with us and have a 360 area of effect attack anytime we wanted. It's fucking beautiful. Postal Dude is immune to G-forces, and he is a planet of piss. Wonderful. Let's move on. I was going to make that a separate video, but I think I've already made too many of those for this Postal 2 playthrough. Still probably going to do more, though. Just whenever I find something that interests me, or any kind of odd glitches. This is a learning experience for me as well, really. Every time I play this game, I notice some new things. That fucking stare. I can't really read the emotion in that cow's face. Could be one of anything, really. Well, he's suffered enough for one lifetime. Also, you can smash doors in with a sledgehammer. Doesn't work when you throw it, though. So the kick is still faster, but that leaves smashing door leaves something better in its wake, I suppose. A permanent entrance. So, we have catnip. We've gone off on our vow of killing. Let's rob the bank again. In the exact same way as last time.
Yeah, baby, I am the Lizard King.
You probably didn't hear it last time, but he does have unique lines for, well, smoking the catnip. Also, there are police officers in here, but they're rather ineffectual to the catnip-fueled burglar who's just come into the room. It's a good thing the papers will never report on this. It would probably terrify the populace too goddamn much. You know, the fact that there's a wanted meter up actually tells me that they've recognised me somewhat. Which is good on them, because they figured I'd be a blur at the moment. And just one last thing before we go. And it's just as slow as everyone else. And I'm off. So I believe you can rob the bank every day in Postal 2 for an extra bit of cash. Money does have another use that, well, we'll get into more later, but the items in this game are pretty cheap on the whole, like health pipes being 200 quid. That's actually pretty reasonable if you spend maybe 5-10 minutes just looking for cash and nowhere to go. You know how I mentioned those wires were really strong? Sweet fucking damn. That's not shoddy level design, that's just really attests to the wire strength in the town of Paradise. What the hell was I talking about? Yes, you can skip certain mission objectives by paying with cash. It makes things easier, it gets the police off you. Sometimes this actually has no effect and it's just a money trap. Sometimes it's effective. Really, the only way to figure that one out is trial and error. And it's also good that we stopped through here because there is a mod-added weapon that's off to the side here. So, they're the most expensive payments in the game. Really, it just, you know, you pay your way out of killing people. It's useful for speedruns and such, I guess, but then you'd have to go and get money as well, so I guess leave that to the experts. a silent sniper, which has its own ammo, oddly enough. Has the same properties as the basic sniper rifle, but, well, people don't go ape shit when you use it. As long as no one sees you use it, I suppose, which is handy enough. Actually, on that note, one of the things added in the recent patch was an achievement for beating Postal 2 mode, so that's Monday to Friday, in 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I was thinking of actually attempting that later on. Could be good for a laugh. There's another one for beating the new Postal difficulty. Just beating the new Postal difficulty. Someone posted in the thread, said it took him 4 hours, but I don't know if that accounts for retries, and then again, he was probably a lot better at the game than I am. Can't really account for that, because I haven't seen him play. But it was most likely the case that he was far better than me, and more patient. So, yep, the library is out of commission. Still burning. There's no fire service here, so fuck it. There is actually a hidden area in this map that I think I alluded to in the first part, but have yet to actually explore yet. It's behind the Lucky Ganesh, if there's anyone wondering. But I'll keep silent about that. Well, that just gave it away for anyone who knows two things about Postal 2. Actually, I wonder what the kind of cultural, cultural shorthand for this game is. Because when people remember Postal 2 who haven't actually played it themselves, they've just heard about it from media outlets and from its controversy, I do wonder what that sounded like. Let's ignore that for a second. Let's forget about controversial subjects. There's a map in Postal 2 about a school that they've added.
Finally, it's about time you showed up.
This is gonna be sweet.
When I saw that on the map, I honestly thought for a second, oh dear, this is going to end badly. Turns out it's not going to end badly, it's going to end boringly. Oh, so boringly. Now, while I don't care much for this map, it is just another slaughter everyone on stage type of deal. This does mean I do get to talk about the Apocalypse Weekend zombies, and yeah, you have to walk through the metal detectors. Everything else has an invisible wall. Also, that Running with Scissors employee who drove you here, he's on the map, and is vaguely helpful. Now, I just used the sledgehammer there. That is pretty much the best weapon against zombies, because, well, the Apocalypse Weekend expansion also added jibbing to the engine, and zombies are a great way to show off jib effects, because they're pretty slow and easy to cut down, but you need to explode the head to pretty much kill them. And if you do it in the wrong order, you can actually make the zombies invincible, which is not terribly helpful. They're not much of a threat, however. They're slow, they gob very slow projectiles at you that you just need to sidestep to dodge. And this map is so wide open that they can't even group up on you. Yeah, as you can see, just conventionally doing damage to them is pretty ineffective. You need a weapon powerful enough to explode the head, and the sledgehammer excels in that department. And those donuts did come in handy. Well, alright then. So the map isn't really all that great. I mean, it's modded in, it looks fine. It's just a bit too wide open. It doesn't really work to the zombies' favour. But this map does have a couple of good things going for it. Near enough every classroom has a collectible item in it. Not medkits, though. While they're in the map, I mean collectibles like bass sniffers are in the bathrooms. There's fast food everywhere. It's not a bad place to go to stock up on a few extra health items. Which would be great if I wasn't wasting them by the second. Now, the bathrooms on the map are pretty interesting. They're all copy-pasted, so you'll always find pizza in this last toilet. Healthy. It's got working mirrors, it's got medkit to use, and more bass sniffers. The map kind of expects you to use the bass sniffers to, well, actively find zombies, but because they're infinitely respawning, you could just slowly go through it and build up on battery if you want to. Now, one thing that we're not also going to go into much detail here because I'm not planning on doing Saturday and Sundays, that the A Week in Paradise mod also enhances the number of different zombie models in the game. Just like the amount of civilians were upped in the Monday to Friday levels.
That's gonna leave a mark.
Now we're coming up on the most fun part of this map, and also let's just turn on Bass Sniffer for a second. I mean, I guess that would help. Near the end, I've noticed that more zombies do tend to get spawned in larger groups. I'm uncertain if there's a time limit, or if, you know, once you exceed a certain number of zombie kills, it starts dropping more in on you at the same time. But who knows? Let's just have our fun with this for a second. Well, Wind Part 3. Postal Dude should never go to a playground for reasons beyond just kicking the spinnable objects, such as merry-go-rounds. It will lag children out a little bit. Not quite as impressive as the chair at the asylum. Now, I mentioned gibbing briefly earlier on. The three weapons that were added in Apocalypse Weekend, the machete, the scythe, and the sledgehammer, all had jibbing properties, and they each jibbed in different ways. Like the machete could cut off small limbs, the scythe could cut people in half, and this can explode heads. So they are each pretty useful in their own ways. The machete is the fastest, but makes the least killing cuts. I mean, near enough all of them are one-hit kills anyway. If you cut the arm off an NPC that isn't a zombie, they're pretty much immobilized. The sledgehammer could burst heads for an instant one-hit kill, and cutting people in half pretty much made them no threat to you.
Ooh, right in the stuff.
The rather unfortunate fate of those who won't sign Postal Dude's petition. God, that's horrifying. A rather curious thing to note is that if you smack a zombie in the place where their head was when their head's no longer there, they won't die, they'll just kind of shrug it off because, well, they have no head to strike. And also, you see what I mean by I believe that more zombies are spawned in the closer you get to the ending? It just seems the rate goes up a little bit at the end. More zombies just come clambering out of the woodworks. And that's the school level. I mean, if you just enjoy smashing zombie heads, I guess it's, you know, good for 10-20 minutes of fun.
You go, girl.
I don't really find much enjoyment in it.
Have a nice day.
It's cathartic, I suppose. Which is a strange way, because when you think about Postal, killing all of the zombies does lead to catharsis, which is best not thought about ever. So before this part is out, we still got a couple more things to do. Let's get some more signs on our petition, and, you know, maybe we can stop in and meet Gary Coleman if we can squeeze that in.
My petition.
Okay, I guess that sounds pretty good.
An agreeable sort.
Thanks.
That's always a good thing. Now, there's a little hidden nook in this map that I believed had some medkits in it, but it's even better than that. So I'm going to show that off in a tick.
Hi there. Would you like to sign my petition?
Okay, I guess that sounds pretty good.
Thanks.
I've actually got someone in mind to get the last sign in on this petition. And, well, it's pretty obvious where I'm going for that. Now, what could possibly be stashed back here? I wonder. On Monday, it was just some medkits here. Perfect. No one would ever look here, except from me. Because the NPC's pathing doesn't exactly let them get there. The offices to the side of this map actually do have a few good hidden items in them, or a few. Nothing really that powerful weapon-wise, but you can get a bit of assault rifle ammo, maybe a smeg launcher, some shurikens and such, so it's always worth breaking and entering. The whole area is kind of flagged up on the inside as an area where if you get spotted, they're going to call the police on you. Also, things that happened on Monday, well, the Running with Scissors employees and the protesters, it's going to sound horrible, but they've learned to live in peace. I know. I preferred it when there was a stack of cash back here, frankly. But you'll see it yourself in a second. Let's just go past the eternally empty reception. Look, they're here and there's no gunfire. There's... Oh dear. Oh, cool. Maybe they're going to be cool and forgiving of me as well. These are things we'll never know.
Would you please sign my petition?
Okay, I guess that sounds pretty good.
Thanks.
He's not Vince. Oh well, he's in the office. He's close enough.
Oh no, you are not gonna kill me, psycho boy.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Now you see that gas? Well, look at my health bar.
I can't feel mine.
Yeah. Attempt number 2.
Petition?
I'm sorry.
You gotta be fucking kidding. Look, just sign the stupid petition. I've got stuff to do.
Okay, I guess that sounds pretty good.
Thanks.
Well, he was a lot less agreeable than last time. But never mind. Murdering bastard. Get the fuck out of my former workplace. So, still got one more name to put down, but in the meantime, let's go and meet Gary Coleman. Now, the mall is just to the right of this area. It's a pretty good area. Obviously, a lot of shops in there. It's actually got quite a few hidden goodies as well. It's quite an expansive little area. One thing that's very important when going to meet Gary Coleman is if you want to do it the peaceful route, do not walk in there with any cops on you. Because someone draws their gun in there, Coleman has armed security, and that means that the whole place will just degenerate into a war zone.
Would you please sign my petition?
I'm sorry.
You gotta be fucking kidding. Look, just sign the stupid petition. I've got stuff to do.
There's 7 people who will be with you on this one.
Pinko.
Shit. Are you gonna sign this, or will it be your surviving family members?
Okay, I guess that sounds pretty good.
Perfect.
And done.
But then... Ah, fuck, it defaulted to my next weapon. He's fired a gun, and... Well, let's see how well this goes. You must realise that I'm eating, so I still think that I can salvage this, but... Nah, Gary Coleman's out of the meeting place. Suffice to say, my first attempt at meeting Gary Coleman went not exactly according to plan. Attempt number 2.
I'm sorry.
You gotta be fucking... Look, just sign the stupid petition. I've got stuff to do.
No way, you freaking pinko.
Shit. Are you gonna sign this, or will it be your surviving family members?
The exact same NPC too.
Okay, I guess that sounds pretty good.
So I figure, quickly put away my weapon. But someone down there spotted me, pulled out a fucking... Oh, god damn it, spray can flamethrower, and... Gary Coleman doesn't really seem to give a shit, but... Everyone else does. Alright, we'll sign it outside then. Fuck, if you're gonna be so picky.
And done.
And now it's time for attempt number 3 at getting Gary Coleman's autograph peacefully. You don't need to do it, you could murder him and he'll drop one for you. Just in case you were wondering. I wonder if that's what it will come to. Nah, it won't.
Get the fuck down. Get down if you don't want to die. Get down if you want to die. Get the fuck down. Get down. Get the fuck down.
Next. Shut up! What is wrong with you? Hi.
Well, that settles it. He has to die. Him and everyone else in this room has to die right now. The glitchy lines just... It just has to be this way. There's no two ways about it. What? We've got such a wide variety of weapons. What do we use? Well, we haven't got a scythe on us at the moment, I don't think, so we can't just cut a swath. Let's just go for the next best thing. We've learned it has penetration. It's got a silence. Oh god, someone spot. My opening gambit worked though. Security's down. Okay, perfect. Now, as you've just learned, the element of surprise is a viable, vital tactic in Postal 2. Now, where's Gary Coleman? Grenade launcher weapon is really fun. The way it just slings grenades so perfectly. It's much better than just thrown ones. Such a shame that it uses separate ammo than just regular grenades. Now, if you actually go into the back of this bookshop, you could just get a Gary Coleman autographed book there. In fact, I think I just picked one up accidentally. So, yep. Now we have several of his autographs. We are going to make a killing on eBay. I'll show off more about Gary Coleman in the extras video, don't worry. You can also get another library book. Not that we can ever return it now. So, the last place we have to go is the church map, which is actually behind the mall. One of the quickest ways to get to it is to actually just shoot through the mall itself. Now, in the mall you can buy guns, you can buy radars, you can buy cats.
But I feel great.
Basically, everything and more is in this place. There's nothing to do here but kill time at the shopping mall. Wait, that's the wrong game. Principle's true here, really. When I was a kid in this room, I used to like... God, this is going to sound fucked up, because it is. I chopped off heads and tried to kick it through those rings on the ceiling. That was fun. I should make an extras video trying to do that. In fact, that should have been a multiplayer mode. Well, anyway, we'll end off Tuesday by going to the church. See you then.